Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's nice to be back in the community with you guys. It's been a while since I've been live. So here I am at the center, Roots and Wings Mindfulness Center, Midland Park. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to come on and say a few words about what we're all experiencing right now with the fear and the anxiety surrounding this uncertainty that we're in with the coronavirus. So first of all, I want to say that mindfulness practices, the art of paying attention on purpose in the moment and without judgment, this practice of mindfulness helps support our immune systems. Okay, so when we practice mindfulness, what we're doing is we are stimulating the vagus nerve in the body that allows our system to go into rest and digest mode. This is important because when we reduce the levels of cortisol and adrenaline, then our body can function properly and at its most optimal state. So if you're running around very stressed all the time, right, with or without the uncertainty in the world right now, if you're running around with high levels of adrenaline and cortisol, then what's happening is your immune system is being compromised. Your body is directing its energy and resources to getting into, hi Karen, to getting into fight or flight mode, and therefore our immune system becomes suppressed. So it's important that even just practicing for 5 minutes a day, I have a very short 5-minute practice on Spotify that is free. You could listen to it just for 5 minutes a day to help bring your attention back into your body, back into your space, to stay present, to use your mindfulness practice to help support your immune system. I can't tell you how important this is. When stress levels are high, our immunity is low. Okay, so that's number one. Using mindfulness practice as a way to keep ourselves healthy. The second thing I wanted to say is that a lot of us are experiencing a lot of anxiety right now. So the difference between stress and anxiety is that stress is sometimes helpful. Sometimes when we get a shot of stress into the body, it helps us prepare for a big exam or a presentation. It helps us kind of gear up for whatever's coming. But anxiety is this rumination in the mind where the event that is causing the distress may or may not ever happen. Okay, so anxiety really is not a helpful tool, but we fall into this because we don't check our thoughts. We live our whole life with our attention stuck in our thoughts rather than observing the thoughts in our mind objectively. So one way that mindfulness helps us here, hi guys, one way that mindfulness helps us here is by noticing thoughts. When we practice mindfulness, we can be aware of those what if thoughts that start running rampant in the mind. So if you're like me and you're a parent, you have a lot of what if thoughts right now. Like, what if the schools close? And what if my children are home for 14 days? Or what if I can't get to work because of this? What if my livelihood is disrupted because of what's happening with this virus right now? So a lot of what if thoughts and a lot of catastrophic thinking, okay? I am not saying that this should not be taken seriously because I do believe we need to be taking the precautions seriously. What I'm saying is that we need to discern the line between taking precautions and allowing our attention to live in our anxious thoughts. Okay, these are two very different things. So we can both practice good hygiene, rest, taking care of our bodies, not attending public places, right? And at the same time, manage the thoughts in our mind. So how do we do that? By noticing and naming them. So I want you to check yourself to notice and name when you hear that in the mind, that what if thinking. Oh, I just had this what if thought of, well, what if my kids are home? And now I'm picturing this whole 2-week period of my kids running around, me not being able to work, blah, 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 blah. I'm catastrophizing in my mind, and then that is creating a situation in my body where I am feeling discomfort, stress, tension, tightness, then my immune system goes down. So tip number 1 is practice mindfulness as a way of boosting immunity. And you can grab a 5-minute practice of mine right off Spotify for free just by searching Roots and Wings Mindfulness Meditation. Number 2 is to check your what if thoughts. So I want you to just label them. Label them and notice when your mind starts to spiral into the what if thinking. And just by labeling them, you're already back in your logical thinking brain. You're already out of that thinking trap once you notice it, okay? And tip number 3 is to acknowledge the emotion that you're feeling. So for many of us, the feeling, the emotion that is present right now is fear. We are in a time of uncertainty. I mean, I don't need to tell you the things that are happening around us right now. It is very scary, and it brings up a lot of fear in our bodies. So what we can do is what we like to say in mindfulness practice is roll out the welcome mat for our fear. This is a normal human emotion. And if we call up a seat of mindful awareness, we can then hold whatever fear comes up. So check yourself and ask your body, where do I feel this fear? Do I feel tension in my jaw? Do I feel tightness between my eyes? Do I feel my shoulders hiking up into my ears? Notice in your body where you are feeling this fear and see if you can breathe and allow it some space to be there. Okay? This is a moment of struggle. This is a moment of discomfort, or this is a moment of fear. So my 3 tips for managing our way through this time of uncertainty, and I will say that this is to be taken seriously. I am by no means saying that we shouldn't feel fear. I am saying, 1, we need to take care of our bodies, and mindfulness practice has been scientifically proven to reduce blood pressure and reduce inflammation in the body, and also lower levels of cortisol and adrenaline. So practicing 5 minutes a day of mindfulness is a good idea. Checking, noticing, and labeling our what if thinking. And lastly, number 3 is to allow ourselves some space to feel the emotion that we are feeling. Okay, rolling out the welcome mat for that fear. We tend to push away emotions that we find unpleasant or harder to be with. And fear is one of those, right? Who wants to feel fear? And that's what I'm telling you. If you allow yourself to experience it, feel it, notice where it is in your body. Hey, fear, there we are. I can feel this. I'm noticing it. It will naturally rise up, come to a peak, and dissipate. If we keep pushing it away, pushing it down, keep reading through articles online and, eating all our Girl Scout cookies, I'm talking about myself, or, doing all the things that is pushing away whatever emotion we're feeling, it is just going to persist. So what we resist persists. Okay, so that's my 3 tips for the mindful way through the time of uncertainty that we're in right now. I will be coming back in and getting back on my social media game. I am really guilty of being completely off the radar. I've had some things going on with my family and issues that I've been having that I will share with you at a later date. But we're going to talk about trauma, because that's another thing that is also coming up quite a bit. Maybe this will be tied in as well. All right, my friends, thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching. Please reach out if there's any way that I can support you through this. I think our emotional and physical health is super important right now, and please use me as a resource. Have a great night.